So there's an idiot named Shia LaBeouf who's finally been arrested. That's right, I say finally been arrested because this idiot's been running around Mardi Gras acting like a fool since he got there. He's been taking food off people's plates, being a drunk idiot, running around, and it caught up with his ass. He ended up getting into a couple scuffles last night, and the cops finally got tired of him, and he was locked up. But, you know, what is it with these guys, man? They have everything they want. They have the world given to them, like Shia here. He comes from Transformers fame, and Transformers is a pretty big movie. You would have thought that going, you know, his career would only take off in Transformers, and it hasn't. His career is actually going backwards, and that's because of the antics that he pulls, and that happens to a lot of actors. And a lot of times Hollywood doesn't let the shit out. They just kind of let it slide because they're under contract. So they'll put these guys in rehab or get them all in shape, you could say, to be able to get on camera so they don't look like a fucking zombie when they're out there. And then, you know, they have another film lined up, and a lot of these guys, they end up screwing it up. They let the alcohol and drugs take over, and what once was a lucrative, promising career ends up becoming shit. Or instead of you getting all these A-roll films, you get now subjected to B-rated movies that don't pay nearly as well as the top movies do, obviously. And a lot of these guys start spiraling. They eventually, I wouldn't call it a come to Jesus because they don't get straight. It's not a move that gets them straightened out. It's actually a move that puts them farther down the spiral, and they get into these depressive states, which a lot of times was caused by their abuse of drugs and alcohol and just acting a fool. And all of a sudden, they go from one of these top-rated movie stars to being subjected to B-rated roles. Some actors, they come out of it. Prime example would be Robert Downey Jr. He was headed down that route in the late 90s. I mean, the late 80s, early 90s, where he was going through his whole age thing. And it was all over at that time. I remember being younger and seeing it in like the front pages of National Enquirer, Star Magazine, and stuff like that, talking about how he had a Hollywood dope man and everything. And, you know, it got kind of nasty as far as getting into his life, but Robert Downey Jr. did end up changing his life around and ended up being a top-rated movie star again. Unfortunately, that's very rare to happen in Hollywood. Once a lot of these guys start going down that spiral, they can't come back up that drain. You know, they get drowned down in that trap, and there's no way for them to come back up. And that happens. You start seeing them acting crazy in Mardi Gras, different events, PGA, like that broccoli-haired kid, Jack Doherty. He's another one. He was not a celebrity. He's actually a product of Dr. Phil. And so is that other Bad Barbie, whatever the hell her name is, another product of Dr. Phil. There's a few different people that have actually spun from the Dr. Phil show and gone on to do social media stuff. And a lot of people don't realize it because they don't keep up with either Dr. Phil or, you know, things of that sort. So they think they come out of nowhere. But a lot of these people are actually begin on these shows as like out of control teens or what have you. But anyhow, yeah, that just goes to show you these people, I don't know if it's the money, it's the ego. After the money and the ego, they want to see how much power they have, so they test their limits, and then they end up getting banned and kicked out of places. And they start playing the victim outside of these private places that they get kicked out of for acting an idiot. Then they want to play the victim. And that seems to happen a lot. And hopefully Mr. LaBeouf can get his shit together, but it doesn't look like it. He looks like another one of these actors who had once had a promising career, had everything going for him, and decides to just throw it all down the drain for drugs and alcohol. And it's too sad. It's really bad, and it's really too sad that it happens to these people. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Anyhow, guys, that's my video for right now. I'm Tommy. This is Talking with Tommy. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps out the channel immensely. And like I said before, we're getting hundreds of views, but it's not adding up the subscriber count. Let's drive that subscriber count up so I can keep bringing you guys content. And like always, take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.